Sports Stream TT. Never want to miss a moment of your child's sporting development? Sports Stream TT is an innovative sporting recording company which is in the eyes and ears of the parents, coaches, and sporting clubs. Contact us at 292-5357. Email sportsstreamtt@gmail.com or check us out on Instagram, Sports Stream TT. We can customize a package for you. Sports Stream TT. Never want to miss a moment of your child's sporting development? Sports Stream TT is an innovative sporting recording company which is in the eyes and ears of the parents, coaches, and sporting clubs. Contact us at 292-5357. Email sportsstreamtt@gmail.com or check us out on Instagram, Sports Stream TT. We can customize a package for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's a starting lineup for today's team. The starting lineup for the U20.
Good afternoon and welcome to Couva. You're watching live coverage of the 2025 Jewels of the Caribbean Tournament on Sportstream TT. Well, the sun hasn't started to dip just yet, but the humidity is high and the stakes are rising. A fascinating clash of football cultures today. Visitors from Indiana who have taken the tournament by storm. Indy Premier Under-20s. They're up against the defenders of the domestic turf, the best of Women's League football in the TNT WoLF United team. Indy Premier certainly set a shockwave through the tournament when they defeated the TNT National Under-20 team 2-0, and then they pulled off a huge result in coming back from 2-1 down to draw 2-2 with Jamaica. They face a different kind of challenge here today. WoLF United isn't a national selection, but they are a band of fighters from the local league. These ladies are playing for pride, for contracts, and to prove that the domestic level here in Trinidad and Tobago is alive and kicking. Here are the team lineups for the home team, TNT Premier. Lawrence in goal, she's number 1. That's Faith Lawrence. 2, Anika Beatrice. 5, Amia Cumberbatch. 6, Tamia Sinclair. 8, Tiana Wiley. 9, Jalisha Alexander. 10, Carissa Cowan. 12, Aaliyah Trim. 14, Akila Gomez. 15, Onika Dinoon. And number 17, Sharella Mendez. Now let's go through the Indy Premier team. And in goal, Tegan Leegaber, the goalkeeper. Captain is number 20, Cadence Conrad, who scored a brilliant goal in the last game. Then 2, Natalia Garcia Sufont. 5 is Tori Brewer. 6, Ashlyn Basile. 7, Grace Mann. 12, Lillian Nisa. 14, Samantha Slade. 21, Aubrey Robertson. And 23, Aubrey Abel. Robertson has been brought in to play her first game in the competition. She's listed as an assistant coach, and she plays with the Northern Illinois University and has a minor in coaching. So in that transitional phase between playing and coaching, great experience for her to be here. Still inside the first 2 minutes, and the TNT WoLF 11, their half is almost bathed completely in sunshine. As for the Indy Premier team, Saturday start here, and this one, they are in the sunshine. First time that we've seen this type of heat for the evening, and it'll be interesting to see how they cope with it after coming out of the midwinter period in Indianapolis. They were also in California just a couple of weeks ago, so that would have mediated or mitigated against some of that. Here come the Indy Premier team in the bright blue outfits, and this is Conrad. Conrad is really the one to watch here for the Indy Premier team. She's the one that pulls all the punches, and that one lands all the punches, correction. And looking for the run of Brewer. Brewer trying to turn the defender. Can she get the cross in? She does. There's a player loose on the far side. Can she get the shot off? And that's hit against the bar. Basile's shot just an inch too high, and that should have been put away. Early warning here for the TNT WoLF United team. That was so close to being the opening goal within the first 3 minutes of the game. This is something that we've seen for Indy Premier. They have scored early in all of their games so far, the under-17 and the under-20 team, and not far away again. Well, that wasn't far away from the upright there by Lawrence's upright, and you have to call that as great judgment, because I would have tried to stop that, because it was very, very close indeed. Yeah, Cadence Conrad, the architect of the victory of the national team, real box-to-box presence, and she does have a lethal long-range shot. And if WoLF United wants to get anything out of this game, they have to stop her from turning in the midfield. Now, we've already seen what she can do, her pass setting up that opening chance. For the WoLF Pack, as I like to call them, the mission is simple: disrupt the rhythm of this Indy Premier team use your local experience and get physical in duels and unsettle the structured U.S. attempts. Very structured in the way they play. So can the structure of the Midwest withstand the flair of the Caribbean? Well, that's the real talking point of this particular game. Lawrence in that bright pink outfit. Goalkeepers usually wear those bright outfits, I'm told, because some study has shown that strikers tend to hit directly at them more if you're wearing bright colors. Not sure of the validity of that study, but it works for the keepers. On the far side, that is Nisa. Nisa has kept in goal for the under-17 team. She's playing in the outfield, and that's because the under-20 team for Indy Premier came with 11, plus they're allowed to play 3 under-17 players and a substitute goalkeeper. And that's why Nisa is out there, the 15-year-old sophomore who is still in high school and showing her abilities in the outfield also. She's campaigning out on the right-hand side. 3 across the front. Nisa, Brewer, ever present in the middle of the park, and Basile out on the left-hand side. As for the WoLF United team, they will hope to get their star striker, Jalisha Alexander, in action. Well, she's playing more in the midfield in this game and has done so for the tournament. And they will be hoping to get her going in this game, the final one of the tournament for them. That's well cut out there by Cowan, but the ball is not a good one. Now she finds Mendez. Mendez is easily the most skillful of the players on the TNT WoLF team. Basile gets away from the defender. Can she get the cross in? Nisa is free on the far side if they can find her. Here's the shot, and not far away. Samantha Slade got that shot off, the 17-year-old. Can play in the right wing also, but Nisa is out there, and she's playing in the center of midfield today. Jalisha Alexander is perhaps the best player on the TNT WoLF team. She hasn't really shown up in this tournament so far, and I suspect that it may have to do with where she's playing. But SSFL MVP for the past 2 seasons, playing for Scarborough Secondary. She's quite a formidable player. Here's Basile with a shot, and Alexander parries it and manages to get it away from, well, there was no call from the official, but I think that Faith Lawrence clearly stepped out of play. She was completely out of, that should have been a corner for the Indy Premier team. Basile trying to get this one out towards Nisa. Cleared away. And here's Conrad. Real dynamo in the midfield. Now look at that pass. Taking out 3 players. Now sets it up for Nisa. Just overhit slightly. Well, that's what happens when you praise players. They do something they don't normally do. Here's Brewer. A real battler she is. Getting away from the defender temporarily. Trim is there. And Trim does well to get a touch onto that. Knocks it into the stanchion with bearing the name of FIFA. World governing body for football, of course. This tournament has been created by the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association. And certainly it's all part of the redevelopment and the rebound of Trinidad and Tobago women's football, which really was in its prime, 2010, 2014, around that period. They were really firing. A wonderful team, but they have fallen away just a little bit, and they'll be hoping to revive that. Well, Lawrence goes for it and gets there just ahead of the striker. So far, Indy Premier have been playing all the ball, and we've been camped out in the TNT WoLF half. It's Wiley. Correction, that's Shepard. And Slade. Left-footed cross from Slade. Easy for Lawrence. No real sting in that cross, and much too close to the goalkeeper. Much better kick there from Lawrence. Sinclair is going to get there first. Yes, she does. Manages to clear it into touch for a throw-in rather than a corner. Inside the first 10 minutes, closest we've come to a goal is Basil striking the woodwork very early in the game. TNT WoLF team, they're coached by Jaimo Harper, the former United Petrotrin player. There's a corner for Indy Premier. Kester Richards is the assistant coach. As for Indy Premier, Kenrick Ramirez, the head coach, former QRC player, Trini born, of course, still has his Trini accent, despite the many years spent in the United States, and part of the last QRC team to win a big national title. As we watch the corner about to be taken here by Conrad. It's loose inside the area. Can someone get a shot in? They can't. But they still manage to get possession. That's Garcia Sofront getting that one in. And here's Conrad again, showing for the ball. She's looking for a shot. Well, that's not a bad effort. Lawrence's handling was good on that occasion. There were a couple of players closing in on her. And Russell G is also part of the Indy Premier team, a former English professional and an Indiana Hall of Fame coach. And they're, of course, assisted by Audrey Robertson, who is playing today. As I mentioned, Audrey has a coaching, a minor in coaching. So in that transitional phase, number 21. That's cleared. Good control here. Plays it out offside against Nisa, who puts it into the back of the net, but it's not going to count. Robertson is playing in the center of defense, actually, sharing the defensive duties with Grace Mann. Also back there on the left side is Maddie Shepard. Played forward towards Nisa. And she keep it in play. She does manage to do so off the shin of the defender and wins the throw in. Cleared downfield by Trim. That was Robertson, but passes just too far ahead of her fellow player. So here at the Ato Bolden Stadium in Couva, stadium constructed back in 2001 and opened in 2001 ahead of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. And the first game here was absolutely packed. Tell you what, it was a great spectacle to see. Everyone came out in their red outfits to watch the games here. Trinidad and Tobago was not involved in a game here. But I tell you what, Argentina were here, Spain, Burkina Faso, and Oman, I think, was the other team in that group. That Argentine team included the likes of Carlos Tevez, Gorositegi, who also played for the Argentine national team. And the Spanish team included two future World Cup winners, Andres Iniesta, and there was a few other players there who would have been in and around the Spanish national team. And Iniesta, 9 years later, would famously score the goal that would win the World Cup for Spain. Played right here on this turf. Here's Shepard. And again, taken away by Mendez. Gets clear of the attacker, but Cohen just took too long with it, and it was taken off her feet. Here's Robertson. Abel. Conrad turning nicely away from trouble. Brewer coming deep here for the ball. Conrad, what can she do from here? She has a powerful shot from outside of the box. That time she was dispossessed, and that's what you want to see from the TNT WoLF team. Gomez, the captain, stepping out of a comfort zone and knocking it away from Conrad. Sharella Mendez pulling off the nutmeg on the defender, but couldn't get much past. Here's Slade. Basile again coming deep. Well, the TNT WoLF team were outplayed in the first 10 minutes, but over the past 5, started to see a bit more organization. They've become a bit more solid, starting to put a few passes together. They are going through the gears right now, the TNT WoLF 11 team. In the Premier have continued from where they left off in their previous game. That was a really stern test against Jamaica. Jamaica went ahead early in that match 2 days ago. In the Premier, actually they went ahead and Jamaica came back and scored 2 goals. But it was Conrad who rescued the point with a spectacular 30-meter free kick into the top corner. It was a brilliant one of the best goals of the competition. Mann forward looking for the run of Slade. Slade is not going to get there first. And Beatrice is there to just usher it out of play. A few changes to the WoLF team. Kezia Lawrence now wearing the number 4 shirt and Jael Solozano wearing 13. Akito Gibbs is 20. So just a couple of changes in the numbers in case you have the old numbers still on you. TNT WoLF United team are out of the contention for a place in the finals. They were defeated by Jamaica 6-0 and then went down 2-0 to the TNT under-20 team. So what's at stake in this game? If Indy Premier even draw, that might be good enough to get them into the finals. A win certainly would eliminate all doubt. The next game is going to be very interesting also because TNT under-20 team, they need to win that game. They're on 3 points. Jamaica are on 4. So they will need to win that game to not only qualify for the finals, but have the satisfaction of knocking their arch rivals out of the competition and dethroning them. And that's provided that Indy Premier take care of business here. So still a lot to play for in the group. As Conrad steps across to take the corner. They're very good on set-piece situations and a little bit taller than local players. It's not the best delivery from Conrad. Wiley. She was looking for the run of St. Clair. And the Premier do well to get in front and snuff out the danger. Well, the shadows starting to shorten here on the Indy Premier side. And in about 10 minutes, it might be all gone. They'll have a nice shaded part of the field to play on. Kagan Lee Gaber has come up halfway up her own pitch. Their side of the pitch, I should say. Offering as an auxiliary centre-back there almost. There she is. And she will be bound for Ball State University, the 17-year-old. She has still in high school, but she's committed to playing for that university. Look at that turn from Conrad, getting past Alexander. That's it's going to be a critical matchup in the midfield. Alexander will have to get control of Conrad because if she's allowed to string those passes together, it could be a very tough afternoon for the TNT WoLF. In the meantime, Alexander has to get her own game going. We've only seen flashes of what she can do. This is action here at the Ato Bolden Stadium. Broad, awkward bounce for her. And she manages to maintain control. Shepherd just nicked away from her. We had the home of football, of course. It's a small facility just behind the stands you're looking at right now. And that's where the players are housed, the national under-17 boys team. They're in training for CONCACAF there. If you're hearing a whistle, that's because there's a training match going on with the under-17 boys, and every now and again there is a whistle. So if you're picking it up, that's not from this game. Wiley. Oh, Wiley has... Alexander was there almost screaming at her for the ball and never passed it to her. And as a result, Indy Premier have taken the ball, and here's Nisa in a dangerous position. Can she get the cross in? She's confronted by her fellow number 12, Trim. Crosses into the back of Alexander. Can she get the shot off? She does. That's not far away. Good effort there by Audrey Abel. And that was not far away from the upright, the 20-year-old, and Grace College, central midfielder. So 0-0 after 20 minutes in this match. Several players missing for Indy Premier due to injury. Ava Liegeber still has a light headache from a bloody nose that she suffered 2 days ago at the Hasey Crawford Stadium, and may not play in the final. She is an outside chance really for playing in the final, I'm told. Camille Clark has a hamstring injury, so she may play in the final. Should be okay from what I'm told. And Cassidy Pettijohn, who had a really good tournament so far, she has picked up an injury, a knee injury, and she's out for the tournament. We saw in the game 2 days ago, they were trying to, after she suffered about 5 minutes before deciding they would replace her. Now she is out for the rest of the tournament. A real miss here for the Indy Premier team. Shepherd. That's good work from the defender. And St. Clair now trying to move forward. There's no one supporting her back or to the side. That's one of the problems of the WoLF team, because they don't play a lot together. You don't see those passing triangles emerging on the field at times. Shepherd. Played back by Abel. And there is Mann. Garcia Sofron gets the pass in, and Nisa is offside. Interesting, Garcia Sofron. She's actually a national player for the Honduras national team. She's also committed to Ball State University. Just 17 years old, and can play in a variety of positions: right back, central midfield, and right wing. So a useful player to have on their team. Captain of the Honduras under-17s. And she's also played at under-20 and senior level for Honduras. And this is not her first time in Trinidad and Tobago. She's played here for Honduras in international competitions. Brewers coming very deep now. Wiley looking to turn, but it's taken away from her. And that's first touch in quite a long time for Tegan Liegeber. I'm looking at the defending here, and no one's picking up Conrad at all. Conrad is just allowed to walk away. Now a player goes across. Denoon does the defensive duties. Garcia Sofron, can she get the cross in? Actually, this is Brewer. Brewer dropping deep and now propping up in attack. She gets the cross in towards the near post. And that is cleared by Trim. Here's the cross towards the far side. The keeper's missed it, and it's bundled in. Mistake by the keeper. There's the opening goal, and Slade has it. 1-0 in the 24th minute. Well, it was bound to happen at some point. Lawrence's handling has not been at its most precise, and I think that the Slade understood that and went in, hopefully waiting for the rebound, and it came just on cue, and she was able to get it into the back of the net. So Slade getting the goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a goal for the Indy Premier 20 Under 20 Women's League. Goal scored by number 40, Samantha Slade.
So Indy Premier finally getting on the score sheet. This is maybe the latest that they've ever opened the scoring in the tournament. They scored as early as the 3rd minute in a couple of games. Actually, against Jamaica yesterday, the under-17 scored after 4 minutes. So they have made it a habit. Well, that's the ball she was looking for, Conrad, but nobody was on the same wavelength. I think she was hoping that Shepard would have made the run. Shepard and the goal scorer Slade were completely at odds there. Here's Shepard now. Gets across in towards Basile. Basile going one way, then the next. Here's the shot on... she gets past the defender, it's just wide. And she scored 4 in a game a couple of days ago. Up in Sangre Grande, 4 goals out of 8 for her team. That was in an under-17 game, so they have been managing her workload very, very carefully. She played between 16 and 25 minutes yesterday, so that's why she's in today. And just in case you're wondering how they manage the workload, it's based on GPS chips that all of the players wear. And so the management knows exactly how many miles or kilometers, miles in the case of the Americans, that they have run. And as a result, that's how they decide when the workload gets to a critical level. They give the player a rest, maybe for the game, sometimes coming on in the second half. And certainly you don't want to overwork a player like Basile, who is a wonderful goal scorer. Here's Nisa with the shot. Not far away. I understand she might come on in the second half as in the goalkeeper's outfit. So she will be hoping to score before the end of the first half. Isn't it great to have a player like that who is very proficient in goal and can also play in the outfield? Remember, in the men's game, there was a gentleman called Jorge Campos who would have played for Mexico in the 1990s, always wore those brightly colored outfits. He said he could play as a striker and he played as goalkeeper. I was equally good at both. And the cross by Nisa, popping up on the left-hand side. The WoLF 11 take it over here. Why, you just showed too much of it to the defender, and now they come the other way. Here's Basile now. Can she get around the defenders? Taking it onto the right foot. Here's the cross. Oh, she was attempting to get the cross in, couldn't wrap her foot around it, and I think just maybe stubbed her foot into the ground there, Brewer, and it went harmlessly behind. Yeah, she's just walking a little bit gingerly, especially on that right foot. Slight change in formation here. Well, not structurally, but just a little change in emphasis. Nisa has gone up in the central center forward position. Slade is on the left-hand side, and Brewer is on the right. Basile has dropped into that attacking midfield position. She's the furthest forward of the midfielders, just a little bit further than Conrad, who is right there. Picked up here by Brewer, and well, the foul, which has gone against the Indy Premier team, and there is a player down for the WoLF 11. Let's see. It looks like she's going to be okay. Amaya Cumberbatch. She's flattened by a challenge, so Trainer will take her off the field and administer treatment there. Real clash of styles here in this game. Indy Premier playing that collegiate preparatory style, structured possession, organized pressing, and they dominate in the set-piece situation. WoLF playing with some Trini flair, individual skill, aggression, improvisation is in their game also. So far it hasn't quite worked out for them. Here is Alexander looking for Wiley, but that is straight to Robertson. Now it's taken away, and again not a great pass. Yeah, that final ball for the TNT WoLF team has just not been there through this tournament. It's all too hurried for them. Nisa finding Slade and Conrad. Conrad chipping it through, this onside. Oh, that's good work by the defender. Beatrice getting the just a little touch on it to knock it back to the keeper, who has picked it up though. And I think the forward is complaining that should have been ruled as a back pass. But I don't think it was intentional. She just stuck the foot out as Basile tries the shot. Conrad robbed of it. That's good work. Trim again getting in to make the stop. Here's Trim. It's all very, very tight there in front of the D for the TNT WoLF United. Wiley's going to chase this one down, but Lee Gaber gets there first. Forward by Robertson. Only as far as St. Clair. Now it finds its way out towards Shepherd. Shepherd with the cross. Chance here for Indy Premier, and that's on the side netting. Well, the crowd erupted close to me thinking that had gone in, but it just rolled along the post and into the side netting. Very disappointed she didn't get the goal. That is Nisa, the goalkeeper, who plays in the center forward position. Well, there you have it, just like Jorge Campos. There's a little bit of a discussion between referee Cecile Hines and Nanika Harewood. Harewood was in charge of the previous game, or the game yesterday evening. So there's a long discussion taking place here. What's happening? What's the decision going to be here? Well, play is going to continue, but look of concern on the faces of the players who were involved in that last challenge. Garcia's the front. Rez Robertson stepping away from the challenge, shielding the ball enough and getting it forward. Brewer not controlling well. But the defender gives it up here, and here's Brewer. Can she get the cross in? Brewer, she hits it straight at Alexander, at Lawrence, correction. And Lawrence takes it. Alexander, who was involved in the attempt to retrieve the ball. Dinoon does not control well, and that call has gone against Brewer. And referee Hines ruling that she had fouled the Trinidad and Tobago WoLF player. Well, one of the key battles in this game really would have been midfield control, and how well the WoLF holding midfielders would deal with the threat of Conrad. And they haven't really been able to disrupt her passing rhythm too much, but just need to get a bit more physical with Conrad to prevent her from getting those balls out towards the left. for Slade and to right towards where Brewer is now. Need to pay a bit more attention to her. As Shepherd finds Slade, the goal scorer. Shepherd down the line. Conrad looking for the cross off the right foot at the back post. Brewer is there. Basile could score here. And that's defended well by the TNT team. It was Gomez who came in to make the block, but that looked like all certainty was going to be the second goal. And Basile would have thought that was going to be her 5th of the tournament. Unable to get it home. Conrad will take the corner. Conrad very much the free kick specialist of the Indy Premier team. And they unlock the defense here from the set piece. And again, Conrad fails to get it past the first post. Not better this time. And the header is looped wide of the post. Conrad getting some show of appreciation from Samantha Slade. Mendez wins the throw-in for her team. Has drifted from the game. Not much service on this right-hand side for her. This left-hand side for the Indy Premier team. It's been dominated by the play of Shepherd and Slade. They really have, with Basile coming across. Well, that was close to a fall through. Was that a handball? Yes, it is. The defender Trim, falling on the ball, handled it. Well, they're trying to get Wiley in one-on-one with the defender, but that time Wiley's control let her down. She's a tricky little player. If she can get one-on-one situation with the likes of Mann or Robertson, might be an interesting proposition for the TNT Wolf team. Here's Nisa, Basile. Straight through. That's a wonderful ball for Shepherd, who gets the cross in. Basile is there. Can she keep it in place? She does. Back to Shepherd. Here's Slade. Robertson is thinking about the shot. Actually, this is Abel. Blocked by the defender. And finally, Beatrice gets it clear. But it's going to come straight back because it's straight to Robertson. So front. Well, Brewer was unable to maintain possession, but still Indy Premier pick it up here. The TNT Wolf United team have been pushed back into their own penalty box. Slade. Looking for the cross towards the center of the park, and Basile knocks it in. 38 minutes, and there is the second goal. And that was well set up there by Slade. Sustained pressure by the Indy Premier team. Basile was waiting in the center. Slade got the ideal cross in, and just a one-time into the net.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a goal scored by the Indy Premier under 20 girls. Goal scored by number 6, Ashley Basile.
Basile got 4 in the under-17 game, has propped up and gotten another one here for the under-20 team this time. That's not the clearance Beatrice wanted, and out for a throw-in. She immediately threw her head back and like, wow, that's not what I was intended. So 6 minutes to go to halftime, and Indy Premier are almost there. 2-0 ahead, just over a half to go, and they should be in the finals on Sunday. Unless TNT Wolf can find some way back in this game. Passing again, just goes past two defenders and gets the cross in just ahead of Nisa. And that will run away towards the far side. Well, the field is now totally shaded. The sunshine has left us. The sun has set behind here. We're heading towards the night time here in Trinidad and Tobago. The shot from Conrad with the left foot this time, a little bit wide off the mark. Saturday evening in the Couva area, very quiet area in Trinidad and Tobago. We're in central Trinidad, if you're unfamiliar with the geography of our lovely Twin Island state. And it is the home for sport in TNT, the home of football we're at, the home of cricket, cricket, cycling and swimming in the same facility. So this is where all of the young athletes come. Here's Mann. We'll go back to Lee Gabriel. She does. Robertson. Garcia Safront. Oh, she finds Nisa. Nisa's going to run onto this here. The defender gets there first, though, and clears it into touch. Good work by Sinclair to get across and make the stop. Can Nisa get the cross in there? She does. Straight at the goalkeeper, though. 3 minutes to half-time. The crowd is having a little fun. There's a little bird chirping somewhere in the stands. And they're enjoying themselves with that little bird. Actually, when these stadia were opened in 2001 at Arima, Larry Gomes Stadium, as the player goes down, you'll call from the official. There was a bird at the Larry Gomes Stadium that was attacking everyone. The ball boys and back of the southern goal were attacked every now and again by some blackbirds. One or two of the players were also attacked, so it was very interesting indeed. There's a player down here for the TNT Wolf United team, and they will call the physio on. Michael Daniel doing the duties for the physio. And physios have everything in that very smart-looking military-type bag. And let's see what signal is. Well, the coaching staff will be looking on quite anxiously here to see if the player can continue. Looks like she's going to be okay. She's walking off on her own accord. In fact, she gives the thumbs-up signal, so she's going to be fine. She's indicating to her fellow player that there'll be a slight strain on the hamstring. Cumberbatch. Here's the free kick. Lee Gaber is there, and she gets it.
Sports Stream TT. Never want to miss a moment of your child's sporting development? Sports Stream TT is an innovative sporting recording company which is in the eyes and ears of the parents, coaches, and sporting clubs. Contact us at 292-5357. Email sportsstreamtt@gmail.com or check us out on Instagram, Sports Stream TT. We can customize a package for you. Sports Stream TT. Never want to miss a moment of your child's sporting development? Sports Stream TT is an innovative sporting recording company which is in the eyes and ears of the parents, coaches, and sporting clubs. Contact us at 292-5357. Email sportsstreamtt@gmail.com or check us out on Instagram, Sports Stream TT. We can customize a package for you.
Welcome back to the Ato Bolden Stadium for the second half of this Jewels of the Caribbean clash. Action is live here on Sportstream TT. Floodlights are taking effect, and the scoreboard tells a familiar story. The visitors from Indiana are showing exactly why they are the team to fear in this competition. 45 minutes down, and they lead by 2 goals to 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, and we have a substitution for Indy Premier U20 goals team. Leaving the field of play is number 1, Diego, and entering the field of play is number 22, Carrington Wilder. Also leaving the field of play is number 7, Grace Mann, and entering the field of play is number 10, Kirsten Monson.
Well, they're looking for a good start here. That's hit the post already. Indy Premier team coming close to getting their 3rd goal very early in the second half. And earlier in the first half, which belonged entirely to the U.S. team, they were ruthless and clinical in the final third. Slade broke the deadlock, following up after Lawrence mishandled the ball and bundled it in. And then in the 36th minute, Basile was there to strike home from inside of the box. Well, for the WoLF United team, the first half was a harsh lesson in concentration. They certainly did have a few moments of individual spark, but they were punished for their individual lapses. And still a lot more to go. Now, a couple of changes for Indy Premier coming on in the second half. Seeing the figure of their number 10, Monson, is on in the second half. Also, number 22 on in the second half for them. Or 20 perhaps. Yeah, so definitely 22, Carrington Wilder, and Kirsten Munson. Those are the 2 players to come on. There's also been a change in that Tegan Legeber has come off, and she has been replaced by the outfield player Lillian Nisa, who is also a goalkeeper. So those were the changes made. So technically 2 changes, technically 3, but 2 changes on the list of substitutes who've come on. So for Indy Premier, it's all about professionalism. They have the lead, they've got the structure. And can they manage their game and manage their legs in this humidity and keep another clean sheet? Well, for the Wolfpack, it's do or die for them. They're playing for pride now. And the tactical scoreboard might go out the window. They need some aggression. They need to press higher. And they'll need an early goal if they are to make Indy panic just a little bit. If they simply sit back, Indy will pass their way to sleep. Offside. And that was against Wilder, who's come on. Wilder's just 15 years old, and she will see about maybe the second half of play here. I was told she may have seen about half an hour of play, but she's come on at the start of the second half, so she will certainly be one of those to be a threat. She scored yesterday in the under-17 match. Brewer trying to turn the defender. She has a deceptive turn of pace, and there it is, just showing up, just getting ahead of the defender as she gets across in towards Conrad. Looking again for Brewer. Now pulling away here is Garcia Safont. Can she get the cross in? And the Honduras captain gets away from the defender, cuts to the line, Gets the cross in and it's bottled in. That's the third goal. And it has come early in the second half. So that's the goal that Indy Premier, that could clinch their place in the finals. Looks like Slade again, who's come in to score. So it doesn't matter how they go in. And Slade has scored the third goal. So the ideal start for Indy Premier and the worst possible start for the WoLF 11 as Slade gets a double. And so this really should confirm that Indy Premier are going to go to the finals, if it wasn't already seen. They still have 40 minutes to negotiate here, though. And it could be an uncomfortable one for the WoLF 11 team. Now, tomorrow is going to be an organizational situation here for the Indy Premier team, because remember, as I told you earlier, they have 11 under-20 players and they allowed 3 under-17 players to play. Now that they've made it to the finals, now on all the other days of the competition, this is the 6th day, of course, just one of the teams has been on display at a time. Now they'll have both under-20 and under-17s playing tomorrow. And so that's where the organization and team management has to come in. But knowing the quality of work that Henrik Ramirez and his team of Russell G and Audrey Robertson would have had in place, they would have already foreseen a run to the finals and would have had that in place, and they've managed the players' workload to suit. Munson in for the second half. Munson's getting her first game of the trip, actually, playing at the centre-back position. She's come on in the second half here. Chance for Natalie Safran. Oh, she's buried it into the back of the net. That is a great finish. Sweeping move by Indy Premier, and Safran, Garcia Safran knocks it in. 4-0 now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the goal scorer by the Indy Premier number 20. Goal scorer by number 2, Natalia Garcia Safran.
So, well, it hasn't gone well for the TNT WoLF United team in the first half, and it's gotten worse here in the second half. They've now conceded 2 quick goals within the space of a couple of minutes. Slade is getting her second of the game, and Garcia Safran gets her first of the tournament. So the Honduras on the 15 captain and under 20 and senior player showing her brilliance here and getting the goal. So that's a useful addition for her. She's been very good down this right-hand side. Last game maybe had a bit of an off game, but she's been really on song this game. Withdrawn early in the last game. It could have been workload management also. Mendez battling for that and has won the throw-in for a team. They've had a few moments here, the TNT WoLF 11, but nothing much to show for it. I don't think they have a shot on goal, actually. Given away, here is Conrad driving forward and taking the, oh, she's taking on the defense. She's gone past one defender. Garcia is there. She's brought her down. Garcia could be in trouble here. Yes, she's, that's the yellow card. Good decision by the referee, because there was a player covering between Garcia and the Lions, so that's why she didn't get the red card. Had that been much in a central position, she could have found herself being sent off. And that's what we were talking to you about in this game. Conrad has been absolutely brilliant once more, and they have not been able to contain her in the first half, and in the second half she's just been running riot. And as a result, that's why the Indy Premier team lead by 4-0. And now she has a free kick. Very sharp angle here. I wouldn't rule out she's going to hit this one on goal. Conrad with the free kick, and it's in! On the near post. Second free kick goal for Conrad, 5-0. There was no way she was not going to shoot there. Given that it was just two in the wall, it was a dangerous position. And Lawrence was covering the near post, but that was hit so accurately. She's not the tallest of goalkeepers, is Faith Lawrence, but the accuracy of the shot is what beat her. She got to her right and just couldn't reach it. Conrad also scored a brilliant 30-yarder in the last game. She played on. It could be worse now. Oh, that's busted to the net by Brewer. 4 goals within the space of 5 minutes here. 6-0 now, and Brewer has another goal in the competition. She scored in every game she has played. Not sure what was given to the, what was told to the Indy Premier team in the second half during that break, but they have come out absolutely firing here. 4 goals in the first 5 minutes or so, first 10 minutes. And they're looking for more. The WoLF 11 team, well, it's all about pride right now. They were hammered 6-0 by the Jamaicans in their first game. Well, so they've already matched that tally here, the Indy Premier team. And that was another aspect of the game that one would have felt would have been interesting. How would their fitness hold up, given that this is one of the high-profile academies, football academies in the USA, or soccer academies, if you want the correct term. And how would this team that has been drawn together after a very tough season in the WoLF League, that has gone out of play. It's not going to count though, that was already out of play. Slade is denied a hat-trick here, that ball was already out. How would their fitness stand up against this very well-organized academy team? And here in the second half, I was expecting maybe around the 70th minute or so, you'd see more of a push, maybe a couple more goals, but it's come quite early. So within 11 minutes, they're already getting 4 goals. Oh, they could have more here. Wilder, can she get the shot off? Tries to work it onto that left foot. Back to Conrad, who can strike it from distance. Onto that left foot of hers. Oh, just wide. That may have actually hit the outside of the post and gone out for a goal kick. Conrad just very close to getting her second. So you're watching the action, Jewels of the Caribbean tournament here on SportsStream TT. Brought to you by Blue Waters. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And you can watch the finals here tomorrow. If you're in TNT, why not come down to the Hazley Crawford Stadium?
Substitution for the TT United.
So 2 players coming on for the WoLF United team.
And entering the field of play is number 11, Sarah Jack.
Jack is coming on for number 5.
Also,
Amia Cumberbatch and Carissa France.
Amika Beatrice.
And
entering the field of play is number 60, Carissa France.
Carissa France is on for Anika Beatrice, who is off now. Beatrice is replaced by France, both are defenders, so that's going to be an easy switch. So changes have been made here by the TNT WoLF team, and maybe designed to prevent further damage. That's gone out of play. Yeah, that's out. On that far side, Shepard was trying to track it in, but couldn't get across to it. So the TNT WoLF team. 2 quick changes in the second half. Well, this is turning out to be a really damaging defeat here for them. It does really emphasize the difference between league football in Trinidad and Tobago and the quality in these American academies. Here is Brewer, flicked on towards Wilder, who's in an offside position. Well, the free kick was taken, but they've decided to pull it back. Now, in the meantime, the teams for the second game, Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica, already commenced their warm-ups, taking place in the grassy areas behind the field. Out of your picture at the moment. Garcia Safront with the pass back to Nisa. Oh, Nisa would have loved to have gotten a goal in that first half. It's Sinclair. Basil trying to drive things forward. And the shot, it's a good cross, but just bounced awkwardly for Wilder, who couldn't get that right foot of hers behind it to make the stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a substitution for the Indy Premier under 2019. Leaving the field of play.
Well, Indy Premier have made a substitution of their own.
Is number 20.
They've brought off their captain, Cadence Conrad.
Is number 11, Isabella Moreno.
Conrad has been replaced by number 11, and that is Isabella Moreno. Moreno, who is just 14 years old, on the radar of the Mexico under-15 team, so she's quite a good young player. We've seen her superb organizational qualities early in the tournament, and she and Conrad play that very similar position. So we'll see how she can assert her dominance. I don't think there's much of a drop in quality when she comes on, if any at all. Conrad has left a very high standard, and this is all part of the management of the game workload for the Indy Premier team. Conrad will, of course, play a big part in that final tomorrow. And there's no doubt now that Indy Premier will be playing in that final. This win, which is already fattened up to 6-0, will put them up to 7 points. This will take them into the finals. That's barring something absolutely incredible from the TNT WoLF United team. So just to remind you of the scorers: Slade scoring in the first half, and Basil in this to make it 2-0. Slade got another in the second half, and the Garcia Savant. Conrad making it 5-0, and Brewer passing it into the net to make it 6. So 4 quick goals in the second half, and they're looking for more here, the Indy Premier team. What can Wilder do here? Running into trouble here, Wilder. Just took a little bit too long on the ball, and the TNT WoLF United team have taken it away from her. So play continues, and it's just a stunned sort of appearance here for the team in black. That's the TNT WoLF United team, because they've been absolutely torn apart in the second half. 4 goals within 5 minutes doesn't happen very often, but it has happened here. Well, that was a foul, definitely on the Indy Premier player. Brewer stayed on the right-hand side, and she has won the foul here.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have substitution for the TT WoLF United.
Well, the WoLF United team are making 2 more substitutions here.
Tia Wiley, and entering the field of play is number 3, Naya Allen.
Wiley is off, and they brought on Nia Allard.
Is number 15, Oli Dino, and entering the field of play is number 19.
Monica Denoon has also been withdrawn, and Tahila Williams has come on in her place. So substitutions coming thick and fast here. They've fallen asleep a little bit here, because the shot comes in and wide of the mark. That was Garcia Sofront looking for a second goal of the match. And no one had picked her up. She was just striding in on goal. But unfortunately for the Indy Premier team, they were unable to, she was unable to find the mark. So 6-0, you're watching the action here on Jewels of the Caribbean. And Jewels of the Caribbean tournament on live stream TT, sports stream TT, correction. And yeah, we have, you'll get all the updated action. So Samantha Slade in the first half, as well as Ashlyn Basile, Slade and Natalia Garcia Sofront scoring very early in the second half. And then quickly after that, Cadence Conrad and Tori Brewer getting goals. Wilder will keep this in. Natalia Sofront is marked off, so now she gets the pass in towards Moreno. Correction, that is the figure of Abel. Well, the central defender, Munson, was unable to cut that off. Munson, of course, playing in her first game, and she will certainly play in the finals. She looks very fresh and sharp. That's prodded true for Wilder. Wilder never really chased that with any conviction, and it was always going to beat her to the line. Well, this game has been an absolute mismatch here. And again, the WoLF United team on the wrong side of a 6-0 scoreline. Oh, Brewer could add a 7th here if she gets the shot off. She does, but it was well blocked by the defender. And Wilder has fouled the player, and that will be a free kick. So the injuries have been piling up here for all of the 8 teams in this competition. And several players of the WoLF team have lost quite a few players, actually, as well as the other teams. It's been difficult also for Indy Premier. They've had to manage their resources well. And credit to the system, because they have been able to get to the finals of the under-17. And now, with this 6-0 lead here, they would certainly be in the finals for the under-20. And coming into the tournament for the first time, this is a magnificent performance from the team from northern Indianapolis. Here's Abel. Garcia's the front. Wilder in an offside position again. Is there going to be another change here? No, it's a player coming back on. Onika Denoon was actually withdrawn. What's happened here? Well, it appeared that number 19 had come on for Denoon, 15. Now we've seen number 15 come back on, and 19 has gone off. Okay. Thought I'd seen it all, but no, that actually has happened. And Giles Solzano, the number 13, is just about to come on for the TNT WoLF United team. Munson out to Wilder. Nice move by Wilder to get away. But Wilder gets tangled up here with Cowan. And both young ladies just left examining their boots. Well, the tournament has been played in great spirit. They haven't seen anything in the way of a nasty play, but all teams have played each other very hard. Been aggressive. They won't come out to win this, despite the fact that a couple of the scorelines have been one-sided. Now here's the change about to be made. It is Giles Solozano who's going to come on, and no, again, Onika Denoon has come on. Well, that's a bit of a strange one there, because Denoon came off for number 19, who I understand the number 19 player was actually injured. That's Tahila Williams. And she went on, now she's come back off. And they have brought on Solozano. So maybe a case of the wrong substitution being made. Alexander now being pushed all the way back in defense. Has to get that one clear. Yeah, it's really a patchwork team right now for this TNT WoLF United team. They have been robbed of their best players through injury. This could get even worse for them. WoLF United has a mountain to climb now, and Indy Premier looking to the summit and beyond to the final. Another couple of injuries here. Well, they're taking their time with it to take the throw in. And despite the scoreline, Gomez has a big smile on her face as she runs across and has a quick word with AR1, Kerry Mayers. Yeah, the WoLF United team, if there were any illusions about where they need to be, now they really have seen the sort of quality there is that exists outside of Trinidad and Tobago. This is one of the top academies in the USA. But in addition to that, I mean, they're from the country that is the gold standard of women's football globally. When you have a population of over 250 million, well, yeah, you're going to have a huge, huge pool to choose from. And perhaps in many ways, it's one of the best things that could have happened to the game of football, the USA becoming the champion team of women's football. It really has promoted great amount of growth in the game. In the USA, one of the great markets for sport in the world, and the interest globally. Wilder was in an offside position there, but the ball was deflected to her. Garcia's up front. Oh, that's not far away. And this could be another. It is. Banged in at the back post. And that's 7 now. It's getting even worse now for the TNT WoLF United team. That was a good ball by Garcia just beyond Basile, and it rolled nicely into the pathway of Slade, and she gets a hat-trick.
We have a goal scored for the Indy Premier Under-20 team. Goal scored by Samantha Lindsay. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a substitution for the Indy Premier Under-20 team. Goal scored by number. Correction. We have a substitution for the Indy Premier Under-20 girls team. Leaving the field of play is number 8, Madison Shepherd, and entering the field of play is number 17, Patrick Simmons.
Patrick, in the meantime, Maddie Shepherd, correction, has come off the field. And she has been replaced in the Indy Premier lineup, and this is what they will need to do because they have those 2 finals to play tomorrow. While they're looking to get the cross in, and Slade is there and could have had 4. Not sure why the ball bobbled just before it got to her. It may have been a touch by Gomez, but Slade denied a 4th goal. So just over 15 minutes to go here in the second half, and 5 goals in the second half. This has been an outstanding, very clinical performance here from the WoLF team, and that was threaded through towards Basile. Just couldn't locate the ball with the left foot. Lawrence gets it downfield. And Slade gets ahead of the defender. What can she do? She finds Brewer, who's now propped up on the left-hand side. Brewer with the cross, deflected. Basile is there, trying to turn. There's a player who's going to shoot from the edge of the box, but straight at Lawrence, who makes the save. And that's the new player on for the Indy Premier team. That's number 11, Moreno. Moreno could have added a little gloss on the performance there with a goal. Well, if the game ends right now, it will be a more than impressive performance by Indy Premier. But you feel that there are going to be more goals here. Nice run. She get the cross in. She can't. That was a good run by Audrey Abel. Who is at Grace College right now, the 20-year-old. Just tiptoed through the defense, but couldn't pull it back. Now there is a player down for the WoLF 11. And this is very worrying because it is a Captain Gomez. And she has been one of the bright sparks for this TNT WoLF United team. If she goes off here, it could be even worse for them. Is she going to come back on? She's walking around the field, which is not a good sign. Well, she actually stepped back onto the field. Let's see what's going to happen here. She's going to continue playing. Brewer trying to turn with it. Does well. Here's Wilder. Looking for Moreno there. Now here's Slade. Could she get a fourth? Oh, that's palmed away by Lawrence. Good save by the goalkeeper, Faith Lawrence, and pushes it away for a corner. That could have been goal number 8. Nice save by the goalkeeper. She has produced some good saves in this match. But some of the goals were absolutely unstoppable. Maybe she was culpable for the first one where she dropped it and Slade just got it off the body and onto the net. But some of those goals that were hit past her were unstoppable. Conrad's free kick was one that was way out of her reach into the top corner of the net. Here's the free kick. Referee Hines just making sure that it's done to the letter of the law. In towards the near post. Cut out at the near post. Now, offside. That's a careless bit of work by the player out there. Because you're looking down the line of the defenders. You should know where you are. Abel was the player who went to take the corner and left herself in an offside position. Oh, this is looking interesting here for the TNT Wolf United team. They haven't really progressed this far up the field for a long time. Just like that, it's come to an end. Wilder now looking to go the other way. And what the Indy Premier team will not want to do is to concede a goal here, because it would be a bit of a blemish on their scoreline. There's a change coming up for the TNT Wolf United team. Aaliyah Trim is going to come off, and number 4, Kezia Lawrence is coming on. Lawrence with the free kick. Well, that was hit forward by Alexander, actually. Yeah, it's just got a bit too intricate in the middle, and it is Indy Premier that come away with it. Team in blue dominant again, 7-0. And the only goals they have conceded were against Jamaica in the last game. 2 goals as they
And ladies and gentlemen, we have a substitution for the Indy Premier.
So substitution for the Indy Premier team, and Audrey Robinson, Albert Robinson, who had the first chance in this competition, has come off after a very, very good shift. Well, Provost is announced as the player who has come on. Initially, we felt that she may not have played today, but Gwinnett Provost, number 99, on to play. Monson is now out towards the right-hand side. Wilder's in. Could she score here? Took too long, Wilder. And eventually the defender came back to make the stop. And the ball rolled harmlessly into the hands of Lawrence. Well, the giveaway just outside of the area, and Brewer could have a chance to shoot on goal here. Here's Wilder. Well, it wasn't a great pass, but Wilder still manages to get back possession. Basile lifts it over. Looking for Slade. What's the decision here? Yellow card. And it is against the Trinidad and Tobago player. Sinclair looks like the one who's gotten the yellow card. She puts her hands up to suggest, yes, I'm sorry.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have a yellow card issued to number 6 of the WoLF United, Tamara Sinclair.
Well, Sinclair was smiling and laughing, but I don't feel it was very funny to her. It more looked like a laugh of what else can we do here. And a free kick just outside of the area. Well, we saw Conrad score from a very sharp angle. This one is very central. So there's a chance, a real great chance here for an 8-0 lead for the Indy Premier team. 8-0 would match the heaviest defeat in the tournament, which was Indy Premier against the SSFL Future Stars. They were beaten 8-0 at Sangre Grande a few days ago. Are they going to match this score here, the Indy Premier Under-20 team? How many do they have in the wall? That's suggested bring everybody back. Here's the free kick. Hits the post and cleared. Well, the woodwork is still reverberating at the moment. That was hit powerfully. And Lawrence was beaten all ends up. Couple inches lower, and that could have been the 8-0 scoreline. So, mere seconds to go in normal time. I don't think more than 1 minute is going to be added on here. Oh, that's hit behind. That's not the best of free kicks. Corners from Abel. So it's all about the final now for the Indy Premier team, and this is they have really sounded a warning to whichever of the two teams that play later on make it to the final. Favorites, of course, will be the Jamaica team, but don't write out Trinidad and Tobago. It's always a feisty encounter between the two rival countries, one from the south of the Caribbean, the other from the north, and that's always going to be a tough battle.
And ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official on the sideline has indicated that there will be a minimum of 1 minute of added on time in the second half of the game.
So 1 minute of time added on for stoppages here. There were a lot more stoppages than that, but with the scoreline as it is, I don't think the WoLF United team wants to stay out there much longer. Corner conceded by Alexander. Dreadlocked figure of Alexander. Yeah, she's had a tough 3 days in this tournament. Hasn't been easy for her. Still time here for the Indy Premier team to score another. And the Hoosiers will hope for Abel to deliver something special here. Driven that into the box, and it was flicked in towards the... Well, offside has been called. It's not going to count if it goes in. And there is the final whistle. and it's ended 7-0. Indy Premier stride into the final with a big win here over the TNT WoLF United. Slade gets a hat-trick. Basil, Garcia, Savant, Conrad and Brewer are the scorers. Slade started off the scoring in the first half and ended it off in this 7-0 win. They will qualify for the finals, and it will be up to Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica to contest the next spot. One of those is going to the final. As for the WoLF United team, tough tournament for them, and it has ended with a 7-0 defeat. Join us in just a few more minutes' time for the Trinidad and Tobago on the 20s against Jamaica right here at the Ato Bolden Stadium.
Sports Stream TT. Never want to miss a moment of your child's sporting development? Sports Stream TT is an innovative sporting recording company which is in the eyes and ears of the parents, coaches, and sporting clubs. Contact us at 292-5357. Email sportsstreamtt@gmail.com or check us out on Instagram, Sports Stream TT. We can customize a package for you.